2022 Windrock. 73,000 acres in Oliver Springs, Tennessee, with 300 miles of extreme trials and varying climates reaching freezing temperatures. Let me introduce you to the drivers and their rigs. Marlon and Luna from Off-Road and Chill in their 2016 Wrangler JKU. Equipped with 40-inch Milestar tyres, Dana 44 front axle with RCV and Dana 60 in the rear. Ricardo from ROCO 4x4 in their 2020 Suzuki Jimny, equipped with ARB lockers, bumper and roof rack. Carlos and Jorge in their 2021 Jeep Gladiator Rubicon with 40-inch Nitto tyres with method wheels. Dane and Julio in the 2015 ROCO 4x4 Jeep, supercharged paired with Curry axles and ARB air lockers. Rossi in her 2020 Overland Gladiator with 35-inch Nitto Ridge grapplers. Jose and Jorge in the ROCO 4x4 YJ, Dana 60 and 14-bolt with an LS engine under hood. Victor Guides in his 2019 Rubicon built for overlanding on a JKS suspension with 37-inch Nitto tyres. And we can't forget about Schuenle in his 2018 Rubicon. We could mention mods about his JK, but the real deal are his RC scale Jeeps.
Bueno, este es el primer día aquí en Windrock. Estamos todos muy emocionados porque bueno, teníamos tiempo de que no hacíamos estos eventos del rock. Este es uno un poco más pequeño, solo el fin de semana, pero bueno, lo vamos a disfrutar al máximo.
The first day we decided to go for an easy trail, number 26, to get a feel for the terrain at Windrock.
Muchachos, me copian.
Estamos esperando el grupo.
Ok, copiado. Los estoy esperando en una subida.
A ver, es la primera vez que hago off-road así un poquito más serio y sí que es cierto que el coche con todo el equipamiento que está llevando va a un 10% de sus posibilidades, con lo cual, siguiendo los consejos de los compañeros de ROCO, en este caso de Miami, solamente segunda, bloqueo, delantero, no hace falta trasero, despacito, el coche va por la rodera, va buscando y la verdad es que es una delicia porque no lo hace solo, pero casi.
After a few hours on the trails, the group felt confident behind the wheel and decided to try some more difficult obstacles. First one to put their rig to the test was Jose Gayoso. The rig didn't make it in the first attempt, but it was a matter of getting the right person behind the wheel.
¿Cómo la subes tú sin darte...? O sea, es que a mí me echó, me escupió.
Schuenle has a heavy right foot, but also many years driving modified Jeeps. Part of the raw experience is drivers learning from each other.
¿Has visto las montañas rusas? Sí. Es la misma mierda, ¿no?
Yo iba gritando.
Next up was Victor, also known as Ginger, in his 2021 JL Rubicon. Ginger's JL is set up for overlanding, but he didn't come all the way to Tennessee just to drive by obstacles. The failed attempt was the perfect excuse to get some winching done.
Bueno, ¿te hacía falta RAW o qué?
Hacía falta. Ya.
Sacando el
3
winch.
años sin RAW. Hacía un poquito de falta. Subí a duras penas. Estaba muy resbaloso, estaba lleno de barro las llantas. Perdí completamente la dirección del vehículo. Esto me paró un árbol, si no me iba para abajo. Los muchachos sacaron, hicieron su publicidad, sacaron el winch ese que es el mile marker, no sé el modelo, ahí lo van a ver adjunto ahora. Con ese winch me pudieron jalar, me sacaron de la situación que estaba y pude retroceder toda la ruta otra vez. Eso fue cagante.
There are still many trails ahead that will put both the Jeep and the drivers to the test. It's impossible to know how long winching and recovery will take. At RAW, you know at what time you enter the trail, but nobody knows at what time you will exit. As noon approached, the group made their way further into the mountain trail to reach a place to have lunch. This time of year, Windrock is an exquisite combination of melted ice and mud, a perfect place to have some fun. Who could resist playing in this icy mud? Views only got more breathtaking as we drove up the mountain. Next stop was the rock-solid picnic area for a much-needed warm meal. Atop the mountain, they set out to start a fire to get warm, cook, and enjoy sharing the stories of today's adventure. No better way to end the first day.
Miss you. Yeah. Miss you too, man. This is awesome.
The next morning, Mother Nature had a surprise in store. Snow.
Segundo día en Windrock, previsión de nieve, vamos a ver qué tal se da el día. Hoy hace mucho frío y bueno, nieve, barro, se puede complicar el día.
Son dos rutas Black Diamond que son buenas.
¿Cuál es la que te morís?
Ninguna de las que vamos a hacer te puedes morir.
Pero los españoles se van a morir si se murieron en la 26.
No, la 26 es de...
Yo me tiré en marcha
con el Toyota puedes hacer la 26 comparado con lo que vamos hoy. Las piedras
Yo me tiré en marcha de uno ayer. Me tiré en marcha por la ventana de un coche.
Saltó.
Es verdad. Nos quedamos atrapados ahí por un árbol y dije, yo me tiro, digo que nos vamos a ir barranco abajo.
Pero hoy lo que vas a hacer, te vas a tirar en la entrada.
Le bajé el aire a las gomas.
A 20, bájalo.
Es que ayer estaba en 35 todo el día.
No. Ah, puedes pasar por los tiempos de
Posiblemente. Estaba esperando patrocinio, pero... ¡Oh!
¡Mames! De los que vamos a pasar todo el mundo.
El del patrocinio es Ricardo y no dijo nada.
¡Ricardo! ¡Ricky!
Empieza a ponerse interesante la cosa.
Conquering Black Diamond became the main goal of the day. After some quick adjustments to the rigs, it was time to burn some fuel. First trail of the day was number 15, and leading the pack was Marlon from Off-Road and Chill. Trail 15 is notorious for its tricky lines, and the snow factor made the trail even more unpredictable. Rossi's Gladiator wasn't equipped with lockers. The open differentials didn't help the tyres get much needed traction, but teamwork makes the dream work.
First obstacle, Dane.
Yeah, absolutely. It's awesome.
Good way to start the morning.
I'm looking forward to more. It's a great way to start the morning.
The next area was very technical. You had to place the vehicles in just the right position to get through, without completely damaging the rig. There are many factors that will throw a vehicle off of the right line on a trail. For the Jimny, the narrow wheelbase was detrimental. The trail left some battle scars, but everyone was overall impressed to see a rig on 31-inch tires conquer Trail 15.
Bueno, trajimos este carro desde Honduras para que Ricardo le quebrara el
Y la
vidrio.
ventana.
El rack de ARD parece que aguanta.
Sí, se va
El que no va a aguantar es Ricardo el frío. Sin ventana y sin calefacción.
¿Calefacción?
No hay calefacción. Sí.
Sí, porque esta no baja completa, deja este pedacito y el retrovisor le dio el sticker.
The rest of the rigs boasted a wider wheelbase and would have an easier time driving up the trail. But it was a combined effort of man and machine for everyone.
Que maldita sea. ¡Maldita mierda! Si Rossi da hermano un Valley, nos destroza a todos. A todos.
The next part of the trail was pure mud and rock walls that made it exceedingly difficult to get any traction. Carnage was inevitable.
¡Dímelo! ¡Sí!
Once all the vehicles made it out of Trail 15, the group regathered and evaluated the damage. The vehicles had some battle wounds, but nothing that would prevent them from continuing. So they packed up and headed up to the highest point of the park to have some much-needed lunch with a view. As the temperature dropped, adrenaline rose. Unexpectedly, snow started to pack the trail faster than anyone could have imagined. As they reached the summit, the group set up to have hot coffee and lunch. This was one of those moments you never forget in events like this. Sharing these experiences is what makes a trip memorable.
¿Qué pasa?
¿Tienes frío?
No.
A mí también me gusta.
Solo ellos.
Pero vamos a los carros.
As the sun set and the group packed up, the weather conditions had become more extreme. With a few inches of snow on the ground and no tire chains, getting down the mountain would take a lot of precision driving to get everyone back down safely. And for most drivers, it was their first time driving in snow.
Ahora tengo solamente el del lado pasajero y tengo que manejar así para poder ver con toda esta nieve. Mira, ve allá para que veas.
The trail lines became uncertain, but no rig was left behind. After arduous hours of uncertainty, all rigs exited safely. The sun rose the next morning and it was a proper day for a drive. A local favourite is an historic abandoned train rail, only accessible with a 4x4 vehicle.
Bueno, hoy estamos yendo en camino al túnel de Nemo, o Nemo Stone, como se le conoce en inglés.
José, mire, ve, hasta la gasolina le pago.
Gracias,
Pregúntale
Carlos.
por qué.
Pero es
Pregúntale por qué.
porque quise dejar mi donativo a Windrock y dejé mi cartera para los niños de Windrock.
Sí.
En el barro.
Así no se dispara sola.
The exploration of Nemo's tunnels was guided by locals. These tunnels used to be operational back in the day and run several miles into the mountain. It's one of those places you only experience once, and since they're aged and hazardous, we had to go slow and know we were taking a risk by entering. There are many places like this in the world, and this being one, we had to be very respectful to the terrain and try to keep the trail as preserved as possible for others to also enjoy this breathtaking location. For one final time, the group settled for lunch. It seemed surreal, the trajectory over the last few days, but one more stop was ahead. The Lone Mountain State Forest offered vastness, tranquility, and disconnect. The peace needed to really digest the trails conquered during Raw 2022. Some people might say drivers are out of their minds to put themselves through so much peril. You can call us crazy, but an adventure in a four-wheel drive vehicle means pushing the mind, body, spirit, and rigs to the limit. And we can't wait to do it again. In the end, it's never about the miles driven, but you'd have to join us on a ROCO 4x4 adventure weekend to understand. It's a fine line between knowing yourself and really knowing your rig.